So, I'm the type of person that kind of likes old things. Things that maybe need a little work, need to be fixed up. For example, I like older houses, particularly like the Victorian style houses, something that was built in the 30s, 40s. I see a lot of value in restoring them and fixing them up. I'm also the type of guy that I like the old classic cars. The old Mustangs, Camaros, Chargers, Challengers, Barracudas from the late 60s, early 70s, but even, the cars from before that, a 56, 57 Chevy. I mean, that's the classic car, right? The 57 Chevy. And I see a lot of value in preserving those things. Getting an old car like that and fixing it up. But there's no point in having something like that and not fixing it, because they don't stay in the shape that they're in. For example, if you got a guy who buys, say, a 69 Camaro, and he wants to fix it up, takes it home, starts tearing it apart, cutting out the rusted stuff, welding in new metal. He values that car. He wants to see it get better. Now, the guy that has a whole field full of old cars, or maybe even it's just one, and he's got it sitting out behind his garage and he's never done anything with it, and the rust is getting worse and worse and worse, doesn't really value that car. He's just kind of hoarding it. If you don't fix it, it gets worse. It deteriorates. It falls apart. And the same is true with an old house, If you don't go in and cut out the wood that's rotten, if you don't stop the termites, if you don't replace the beam that's holding up the ceiling that's about to cave in, that house is eventually going to completely deteriorate and fall to pieces, and it won't be worth anything. That car won't be worth anything if you let it turn into a complete bucket of rust. They need restoration. Well, God's kind of like that. He's into restoration. See, he sees value in us even when we're not in great shape. We've got a lot of things in our life that shouldn't be there, that are harmful, that are causing us to deteriorate. We're not naturally good. We do things and say things and think things that are harmful to us and to those that are around us. And that's what we're like when Jesus finds us. But you have to understand, Jesus is not a hoarder. He's not just collecting as many people as he can. He's into restoration. When Jesus becomes your Lord, when he becomes your owner, when he buys you with a price, with his blood, he doesn't leave you the way that you are. He doesn't leave the harmful, negative, and quite honestly, sinful, evil, and wrong things in your life. Like the guy that buys the 69 Camaro, he begins to cut the rust out. He begins to take off the parts that aren't good. Replace them with new metal, new parts. He does restoration on us. He makes us what he wanted us to be originally when he created humans back in the Garden of Eden. So you have to remember, when you sign up to have Jesus as Lord, Yes, he'll accept you the way that you are. But he's going to do a restoration on you. He's going to change who you are. He's going to make you new and better. But that requires surgery. That requires cutting out the wood that's rotting. That requires killing the termites. That requires cutting out the metal that is turning to rust. And it's not going to be an easy process, and it's going to be painful. And he gets to choose which parts he removes and replaces. It's not up to you. The car doesn't decide which parts get replaced. The guy restoring the car decides what parts get replaced. Jesus gets to change whatever he wants about your life. So, when you come to Christ, you don't come just to get saved, because that would just make Jesus a hoarder. You come because he's going to restore you. He's going to change you. He's going to remove the harmful, sinful, evil, and destructive parts of your life. And if you're not ready for him to do that, then you're not ready for him to be your Lord. And it's something that you need to think about.